at this point should shy away from that. And when I say two-way, I truly mean two-way, which means you got to take the good with the bad. Sure, you might be opening yourself up to some criticism, but I would counter that with saying that you much would rather have the opportunity to respond to criticism in an environment that you could control, rather than have the void be out there, have people say something that might not necessarily be true about your brand on forums that you have no control over and can't respond. So by opening yourself up this way, sure, you're allowing some feedback that might not be something you necessarily want, but at least it's in an environment that you can control. It's expected of you, quite frankly. Yes, you can have a website, but do I, as a content consumer, how do I tell you about my experience? How do I tell other people about my experience with your product? If, let's say, it was a good experience, where would I go to tell the world that your product is good? If you have a social media presence, a mechanism for me as I know this is a lot of text, but as I was formulating this presentation, in my mind was, how does someone get started with $0 budget? So when I say that, obviously there might be some expenses here and there, but the concept is, how do I do this without spending money? So to start, you'd have to figure out what is the appetite of your organization towards social media. So if you might be a key stakeholder, there might be other people that make decisions together with you in your organization. What's their attitude towards social media? Some people might already have preconceptions or might think it's a waste of time, or yes, maybe it's something we should do, but it's expensive, you have to hire a firm. Well, that's not necessarily true. So I would say definitely try to figure that out. Figure out what your organization feels about social media. I'd also inventory your capabilities. So what resources do you have available to you should you choose to go down this road? Is there a budget set? How much of your employees or key individuals that in your organization, how much of their time will they be allowed to dedicate to social media? And access. So, for example, let's say you're a wine tour operator, and you choose that the way you're going to distribute content is going to be through viral video. How many wineries will let you come on premise and shoot? Do you have access to one winery, 10 wineries, 50 wineries? That's something that that you should inventory. And then I would say also inventory your assets. So try to figure out amongst your organization, where are areas where I think there's value? What can I expose to the world? And some examples, and literally I was thinking about this last night as I was putting the finishing touches on this. So by no, this is a very short list, and it's just some random thoughts that I came up with. Perhaps you choose that the best way you can portray your organization is behind the scenes videos of winemaking. Or maybe you have every key employee, if you're a winery, in your blog right on the corporate website. So you could have the blog of the pruner, the blog of the person who drives the tractor with the grapes in the back, all the way to a certain area, etc. Have them each blog about their experience, and I know you laugh, but to be honest, that's something that you don't get that experience. If I go and I buy this bottle of water, nothing connects me to this water more than another company's bottle of water that just sits there in the supermarket. If this is going to be 50 euro cents cheaper, I'll go for that. I don't know the story behind where this water came from, or the effort that people were involved in order to make this bottle of water happen. But if I did, guess what? I might spend more than 50 euro cents more, because there's a connection, there's a story. Maybe again, a 24/7 webcam inside your cellar, or maybe every wine tour, if you're a wine tour operator, and you have, let's say, monthly tours. Every single monthly tour is like a graduation class. They get a page for themselves with pictures of everyone who was in that wine tour. So usually they start making connections with each other, and people come from all parts of the world and don't necessarily keep in touch, yet they had this 1 week maybe that they were together and had a common experience. So give them on your website the capability to do that. Set up a photo album or maybe even a vlog for people who participated in that one event. And guess what? They're going to link it, they're going to post it, they're going to share it, they're going to send their family there to view pictures, and that exposes people to your content. Someone else who might be thinking about a wine tour, who was just sent there to see pictures of a colleague who did this wine tour, will be, you know what, this is really cool. Maybe I'll click the info button and call these guys and see maybe I can book something. Okay, so once you've got all that figured out, and that should take about an hour, you should choose the right tools. And this is a collection of, again, as I mentioned, we like free stuff. So obviously you can go all the way from free to really expensive. You can hire consultants to do this. But if there are some things that you're looking to get started on relatively quickly on a shoestring budget, here's that line of code in, and instantly you get feedback about where your traffic is coming from, what the volume is, who directed that traffic to your site. So we see a pie chart of our top referrers. We see that most of our traffic is coming from, it could be YouTube, it could be winepleasures.com. You can start seeing who is sending you traffic. And then say, you know what, let me talk to that person and maybe we can increase that relationship. Give them some more links to post for us, etc. So analytics is very, very critical. I would say I check our analytics page 15 times a day. Not that it changes much, but it just gets me thinking about how to run my organization and what my next steps should be. If you're choosing to produce mobile content, I would recommend Kite.tv. Again, it's a free tool. They support mobile devices. They're sponsored by Nokia as well as Swisscom. So on the N95, I believe, you can actually produce directly from your phone and upload instantly to the web. If you pay a little bit of money, they actually also allow you to stream live from your cell phone. So again, depending on what kind of content you choose to shoot, but for mobile content, I would recommend the Kite platform. For video content distribution, this one is kind of important. I know that Anthony uses YouTube. Obviously, it's one of the more familiar brand names out there. But we use a service called TubeMogul. Again, it's free. But what it allows you to do is sign up for, I believe it's up to maybe 30 video content distribution websites. You just set up an account with all 30 of them and then link it into TubeMogul. And then when you have a video, you just upload it to TubeMogul and they send it to all of these other video content distributions. So when we typically release a show, we go back the next day and literally our video is on some video sharing websites that we haven't even heard of. And the reason for that is, by the way, that if your content has good tag words, then other video distribution networks will take the video and put it on their site because they put advertisements on the bottom. So they make money on you. You won't get a cut of that necessarily. There are ways to do that, but that's a different conversation. But they're more keen on getting your shows because they believe that that's going to get viewership for them and then generate advertisement revenue. So the bottom line is, by uploading to TubeMogul, you're letting the web do the work for you.